Welcome back to the Nerdcore Podcast, a podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. It is episode 403, and it is the first review of Black Cinema Month here at the Nerdcore as we celebrate Black History Month, along with all our wonderful, wonderful friends in the Black community and the listeners in the Black community. As always, it's Nerd Chicano here to host the show, alongside my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much.
Nothing much.
Not much.
Yeah.
COVID times.
Yeah.
Gonna be shit going on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's another month. We made it to another month here, man. We finished our time with Fellini month, and we're moving on to a new one. I'm excited, man. I mean, I'm gonna be real honest. It's a month where I've literally never watched any of these movies, and especially the Patreon mini. I think I'm gonna try to get Dwayne on the Patreon mini because he was like, "Yeah, I don't think you're gonna like Booty Call." But for those of you who didn't know and you didn't listen to the live show on Friday, I won the coin toss. So we're doing Menace to Society today, and then we're doing White Man Can't Jump next week. The week after that, we're doing Juice. The week after that, though, we are going to be doing New Jack City. And then your Patreon mini is Booty Call. And Brad, how many of these have you actually seen?
I've seen, you said Juice, right?
Yeah, Juice.
I've seen Juice, and I've seen White Man Can't Jump.
And Booty Call, too, right? You said you watched Booty
Pretty
Call.
sure I've seen Booty Call.
Yeah.
It's been a while, though.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. A lot of these movies were picked from recommendations from our wonderful friends like Aiden, Gio, and Dwayne. All wonderful people. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about today's film as we look at Menace to Society from the year 1993. Brad, how was work and all that, man? Just another day at the office. How's the truck doing?
Doing good. Uneventful. Uneventful day.
Just another day in Arizona.
I ain't got nothing for you today, bro.
You really don't, man.
Literally, I don't.
I'm sorry. I know. I usually like to catch up with you, right? And I like to be like, "What's going on, man? How you doing?" You're like, "Nothing happened today, bro. I really can't give you anything."
I ain't got nothing, man.
I ain't got nothing. It's okay, Brad. It's okay. Sometimes we don't have to stall for 5 minutes.
I mean those. I think those days are the best though because when you have eventful days, it's usually never good shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. So I'm guessing it's good that today's is just an uneventful regular Monday for you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Then that's okay. That's okay. Watched this film today, and am I going in and out of focus?
A little bit.
God damn it, dude. It's fucking. Let's go back to manual then.
Oh, I did watch The Little Things.
Yeah?
Yeah, I finished that yesterday. With the dude Denzel Washington movie with Jared Leto and Rami Malek.
Yeah, how was that?
Denzel, very good. Remy, yeah. And Jared Leto, way overacted. Like usual.
Yeah. We're going to... So, of course, this week we are reviewing The Curse of Professor Sardonicus for who directed by what's it called Gabriel Theiss, and I'm sorry I have to pull my focus live on air, but this is what's gonna have to happen right now. Is it not fucking focusing?
I mean, at least nobody's in here. They're all in Discord.
Yeah, they're all in Discord. Bruh, I am so fucking pissed. Go on.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
You have a nice eyeball roll.
Thanks, Brett. I don't get it. Why is this not wanting to catch focus?
Maybe try doing the tongue thing.
No, I'm not gonna do the tongue thing. All right, hold on. Before I fucking what's it called? Let me just check real quick if I have it on manual. Oh, I turned off my stabilization.
Oops.
My autofocus.
Now we can't see anything.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. But yeah. What was I saying? Cool. This is a great episode. Just
There you go.
wonderful,
There you
wonderful.
go.
Yeah,
Look at
great.
that.
This is wonderful radio.
Right there. You got
Yeah,
it. I mean, at least
yeah,
you got the
awesome.
fade
Nobody's in
going
here.
on.
Yeah, I got the good old.
Well,
Yeah,
there's two people now. I
yeah,
mentioned the tongue thing, and two people showed up.
yeah. I know what you guys come for. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, no. What's it called? Yeah. I mean, I still want to review One Night in Miami. So that's the one that after
Yeah,
we're
that's
done
one I
with
really want to watch.
Sardonicus. After we're done with Sardonicus, we're gonna do One Night in Miami after that, and then from there we'll have to find out what we're gonna go with. But I was looking at the little things, and then I was kind of looking forward to, it, and then after seeing you, everybody else giving their thoughts, I was like, I think I'm gonna pass on
I
this one.
mean, I mean, it's a crime thriller. It's a
Yeah.
cop thriller, but it's
First of all, most important question, Brad. How long is it?
what was it at? It was only like an hour and 30 something, I think.
Okay, so that makes
It
it
wasn't
less.
it wasn't long.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, Remy Malik in certain roles is just it feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like him as a cop just kind of felt weird. Like Denzel Washington could play a cop for fucking ever, and
Oh
I'd be
yeah.
okay with it.
Yeah.
Like Training Day, and like any cop Denzel wants to play, he can
Mm-hmm.
play. Like anything Denzel wants to play, he can play. And Jared Leto, I don't know. Jared Leto at moments you're like, all right, this is kind of like creepy dude, and then other moments it's like, is he just overacting or like what direction are we going for with this? And I don't know. It's just the story at the end kind of leaves you unfulfilled.
Yeah. We'll see what's up. I think I'm gonna rather take a pass on that one because I don't really care about watching that. But with that being said, I guess we've stalled enough. Let's get ready to get into this. Um, so, as all of you all do know, I should probably turn on my sound pad so that way we can do our spoiler warning. This film came out in 1993, so prepare yourselves for spoilers in case you haven't seen the movie and you care about spoilers. If you literally don't care about spoilers, then you're fine. Cool, just keep on watching. Either way, how this goes, this has been your spoiler warning, and it is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's get into this. Let's introduce them to uh, Menace to Society. Menace to Society, pronounced Menace to Society. It's spelled Menace with the Roman numeral 2, Society. Is a 1993 American teen hood drama film directed by Alan and Albert Hughes in their directorial debut and starring Tyron Turner, Jada Pinkett, Jada Pinkett, bro, Lorenz Tate, and Samuel L. Jackson. The film is Samuel L. Jackson for like a good 5 minutes.
I mean, not a long time.
Yeah. The film is set in Watts, Los Angeles, and follows the life of a young man named Kane.
Cain, as in cocaine.
Yeah, like Kane, like cocaine, or Kane as like Cain and Abel, Lawson, and his close friends. It gained notoriety for its scenes of violence, profanity, and drug-related content. It also received positive reviews for its realistic portrayal of urban violence and powerful underlying messages. Directed, of course, by the Hughes brothers. Was written by Tiger Williams. Music by QD the Third. Cinematography by Lisa Rinsler. Edited by Christopher Colfeld. And it sits at an hour and 37 minutes. And it had a budget of $3.5 million and it made $27.9 million at the box office. Makes it a success. Makes it a pretty big success, actually. That's
Yep.
a good amount of money.
That's Kevin Smith numbers right there.
That's exactly. Yeah, you make it for dirt cheap, and you get back what you get back. So, yeah, this was my pick. This was my pick, recommended to me, of course, by my wonderful friend Aiden Cossack. And I really wanted to watch this one because I've always heard about this one, and I was like, all right, let's get into this. So I was like, okay, cool, let's get into this. I watched it, and I'll say this: I actually enjoyed this one. I actually enjoyed this film. I think that it has some really interesting underlying messages. There's a slight pacing problem that I can tell, but this is a directorial debut, and it feels like a directorial debut. It feels like the first film from the filmmakers, but it has a really interesting story. It has some really interesting messages, and I for one enjoyed very much the selection of music that they had in here.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one thing I was like, oh, they're using some of these music in like the right time, and I was like, oh, I love the use of this music. What did you think, Brad?
First off, I gotta say, I think the opening scene in this is probably one of the most memorable opening scenes I think
Hmm.
in any movie we've reviewed on here. Of when they go into the grocery store and he
Hmm.
just shoots the couple that owns the Asian couple.
Yeah,
I think that's just it's right in your face.
yeah. I mean, it's
Um,
it's starting off right off with the action, dude.
I mean, it's starting right off with just kind of the violent environment
Yeah,
this area
we're trying
is.
to fuck around. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I liked it. I mean, it's good watch. I think some of the acting was forced in places, like it just didn't.
Hmm.
Most of the movie, the acting feels quite natural, but there's some scenes where it's kind of just forced to
Yeah.
me. Like some of the actors, and it could be their age, they have their experience for it. It
Hmm.
just seems like they didn't know how to be in those scenes.
Yeah.
And that was the only big thing I really had with this film is that some of the
Hmm.
acting was forced. But other than that, I thought it was a good watch.
But for me, one of my standouts was Jada Pinkett.
Oh,
Whew.
of course,
Of
of
course.
course, sir.
Jada Pinkett Smith. With I really liked her character, Rooney. I think. Hold on, I don't want to get it wrong, but it wasn't. It was Kane. Tyron Turner did a pretty good job with Kane.
Yeah, I thought he
Um,
did. He did well.
um, what's it called? Lorenz Tate as well as O Dog was good, but there were some people in the supporting where I was they're kind of going over the top a bit. I was like, I kind of need like they're over the top, but it's kind of like it doesn't feel like it's kind of feeling like the energy being provided by the other actors feels a little different from
Yeah,
them.
and
Yeah.
that's where the kind of unnatural feeling you get, and just
Hmm.
some of these actors kind of
Hmm.
force scenes,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And you could feel when it was off. It's not off all the time. It's not like
Hmm.
it doesn't make the movie unwatchable. It's
Hmm.
just there's certain scenes that just kind of throw you off a little, but throughout the movie, it's good. I mean,
Hmm.
the pacing you bring up, I don't know. I mean, this was only what, hour 30.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really feel that, but you know,
I felt it drag a bit. I felt it drag. I was surprised it was like an hour and 30. I was feeling like it was dragging a bit for me. But I've got to say, I mean, what it does really strong is the messages in here. I mean, let's call literally one of the biggest ones is we literally see it in the beginning of the film. That woman just what's it called, following them around, pretending to clean something, like if they're gonna steal something. And he says it
mhm.
like, I come here all the time, and every single time you're acting like I'm gonna steal something. And I've got cash today. And he was just gonna be a normal day. He was gonna buy beer and he was gonna leave. And it didn't end up like that. Or another one where the white guy comes over to the place to ask for him to steal a car, and it's like, what's it called? Once again, it kind of reminds us of some of the conversations that have been had that like, well, the demand for crime is coming from a specific part of people,
Yeah,
and it's being committed in these communities when it's like, it's pretty much white folk not wanting to do the dirty job.
certainly.
Yeah.
And
Generally, yeah. I mean, like, what's it
generally,
called? One of my favorite things in what's it called, Narcos, the series. It's like, well, if those gringos would stop wanting so many drugs, I would sell them books if I could.
yeah,
But they don't want books. They want what's it called? Actually, sorry, that's not from Narcos. That's from Casa de Mi Padre, from the Will Ferrell movie. He goes, yeah. He goes, if I could give them books, I would give them books, but they don't want books. They want drugs.
And I just think they just show what kind of growing up in
Yeah,
areas like this that have
yeah,
uh, these people they've basically been forced into these areas, and they
hmm,
haven't been they're harassed by the police.
yeah,
Drugs are rampant, and again, we know who brought the drugs in. So
yeah, exactly. Or what's it called? Fucking Stacy. I love Marlon Wayne's. The way it's like what's it called? Yeah, those movies are God. Those movies are fucking terrible, but they're funny to me. I was gonna say that one of my favorite things, and it's like I don't want to point fingers here, but there are a lot of films that have always kind of showed that there's this conflict between the black and Latin community. So like when the police kind of like dropped them off in the predominantly Latino community, what's it called, neighborhood. What's it called? He even said like, no, we thought we were gonna what's it called get the police probably thought that we
they're
were gonna
gonna,
get jumped,
yeah,
but the essays were actually pretty cool, and they took him to the
brought him to the
hospital.
hospital.
Yeah, and I was like, finally, like a movie that doesn't have to say like, oh, here you have these two big minority groups that are always at conflicts. Like, no,
No, and
there are issues. Yeah,
they probably knew the cops had beat the
done
shit
that.
out of them and
Yeah,
dropped them there. Like
yeah,
they knew.
yeah. So I really enjoyed a lot of that of what they're kind of putting in there with the messages of kind of what this film is trying to say, and you know, especially of course like just the view of what masculinity is supposed to be in these type of areas. What's it called? If you like being looked at like he says it constantly. He goes, you got to be hard here. You got to be hard. And I'm like, what's it called? If only there was, if only there was a way for like for these kids, to grow up around people who said like, you didn't have to do this to do that.
Well, yeah, and if they basically didn't follow in their father's footsteps in a way,
Yeah.
because they just, when you're in that life, it's
Hmm.
very difficult to get out of it.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what's it called? These conversations lack is first of all empathy for the communities that these people are coming from, because you have first of all what's it called what's it called what's it called a societal what's it called implication on work, what's it called, where these kids what's it called have to have some sort of work that values specifically making a lot of money. So when the jobs that they're barely even allowed into, because let's be real, a lot of these institutions don't take them in primarily for the color of their skin. They start them at minimum wage, and they cannot be making minimum wage because how are they going to be able to live off of that? So
Hmm.
what does that do? It steers them away to a life of crime and having to deal drugs and do these things. It starts opening those conversations that need to be had about like, well, there's a reason why we're stuck in these places. It's because of the institutional what's it called institutional form of racism that lies within the workforce and a lot of these things.
Well, and not only that, it's for the prison system basically
Mm-hmm.
taking away all the parents. Like
Yeah,
it literally took away. Well, the drugs took away his mother,
prison
and
system took away his dad.
yeah, and apparently his uncle or his, I guess, stepfather-in-law,
Yeah.
who we didn't get to see till the very end of it, which was a very powerful scene.
Yep, yep. And he what's it called? I really liked Kane's character. I really like
Yeah,
Kane's characters being the very
and
introspective view of what living in these areas are like, man. And
well, and you all these characters, well, most of these characters, Kane specifically, they had they were planning to get out of this. They were trying to get
mhm,
out of it. You had one with a Kansas football scholarship. You had one who had taken to the Muslim faith, and he
mhm,
was going to leave with him. And it just at the end they couldn't escape their
yeah,
fate.
yep. And I really liked it. And I liked that at the end, Kane basically is trying to become the father figure for that child. And what's it called? And it sadly doesn't end up that way because they get shot and they get killed. And the only one who gets left alive is what's it called? Old Dog, who will probably after this choose to continue this life that he's living or just
And
try
end
to
up
get
this
out of
way.
it. But we'll probably end up in the same cycle.
Yeah.
That it's so
Uh,
hard to get
it,
out because it's been built like that.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, yeah. So like I said, the use of music was really good in here. Like Dope Man from NWA was in there. I can't remember the montage of them having sex. I can't remember what song that was, but like I knew it like instantly. Like my head started like I heard it, and I was like, oh, I remember this, but I can't remember the name of the damn song. And I probably should have checked it because it was on the freaking Prime. We don't have it on the X-ray, but I was like, I really liked the choice of music in here. I
The
actually
music.
really enjoy the cinematography too. Like the lighting choices in here
Yeah,
was
it
really
was.
good.
I mean, it was very '90s, but I really did enjoy
Yeah.
going back and seeing like the '90s neon red and
Hmm.
blue lights for a
Hmm.
party scene. It kind of brings you back to the old television shows that used to be on like Martin or the Wayans brothers, stuff like that. So it
Yeah.
was this was kind of a cool like '90s flick.
Hmm. And it reminds you of just like how much of an influence a lot of these movies probably had on like people like Jordan Peele now,
Really
how
was.
like a lot of his like a lot of how he lights scenes are very much from like those blues and reds bouncing off screens off the
Hmm.
skin of their actors. It's like I really liked every moment that there was a party on this in this movie because I was just like I just looks pretty like pretty cool like with those lights, and also just like the different type of like camera, what's it called, angles and maneuvers that they were using were really interesting, especially for like a couple of filmmakers who it was like their first movie that they ever made.
Well,
It
a
was like
first movie with barely a budget,
barely a
technically.
budget, yeah. It was nice to see how what they could do with just that small budget, yeah. But yeah, I want to say I'm gonna go ahead and go with Menace. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Excuse me. Sorry about that one. Did not want to burp into the microphone.
Take a shot
Take a shot indeed, my friends.
and
Um,
get off the cooler. Damn it.
yeah, I love that guy so much. Just like how they were constantly like, he's just trying to help him, but they're also like, dude, get off the damn
Get
cooler.
off the
They're like,
cooler, man. We're
or I think it
here.
was
We
like
want the beer.
towards the end, he's always like, "You're always talking about this, dude." And I love how the other, like the guy was, I can't remember his name, but like he was there with them too at the end. Who was like, I mean, he goes, "Yeah, I used to do all this stuff too. I found the faith as well, but like, hey, yo, where's that plate of barbecue? Like, it's taking a while. Where's the barbecue? Like." That was really good.
Yeah,
But that guy was probably one of my favorites. Is like, hey man, I'm just trying to help you. And they're like, dude, get your ass off the cooler, bro. Like,
just move.
how you gonna be sitting on the cooler in the function, bro? No, get out, get out.
Get the fuck. I mean, I think everyone can relate to this. Like you're in the
Yeah,
fucking way.
yeah. Oh, I mean, like there was so many parts in this movie where I related. Like, of course, like the story they were in the beginning. Like, there's one like that, like down the street here. Um, the the plastic. What's it called? The
Oh
covering
yeah.
on the
Hmm.
couch. God, are those a staple?
Yeah, I remember those from back in the day.
Yup, yup. Yeah, I like a lot of that. It was just like, oh, I was just like looking at it, I was like, God, like I relate to this so hard. And like, it's funny because like, what's it called? We don't have that anymore here, but like, I know thousands of relatives that when I went over to their house, like they had the damn plastic covers on the couch. But yeah,
It's like, how is this comfortable? This is
yeah.
not
How's this
comfortable.
comfortable? It's like all the noise that those make too, bro. Like,
Oh, and in the summer when it just your arm sticks
oh,
to it,
yeah,
like
yeah.
no,
No, talking about swamp ass, bro. On those
Whew.
couches is bad, bro.
like why?
Yeah.
Why was that a thing?
Yeah, I'm excited though. What's it called? I enjoyed this one. This one was a really good. This was a pretty good watch.
This was
And
a good one to start with, I think.
yeah, next week we'll be doing White Man Can Jump. But as always,
Which is going to be more comedic.
yeah. Well, I mean, what's it called? I'm excited to watch more Wesley Snipes. Like I said, I'm a fan of Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes is is the hype, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I fucking love
like
Wesley.
I miss Wesley Snipes in a lot of
Yeah,
ways because he was all over the '90s.
yep. I bet the IRS misses Wesley Snipes too, bro.
The
So
IRS needs to like cool it down. That
cool it.
man literally tried to pay them like 800 something thousand,
Exactly.
and they're letting like Orange Man over there like pay what 75,000. Like,
Yeah.
come on now, leave
Come on.
Wesley alone.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm excited though. I really do want to what's it called watch that one next week. So, um, I will say though, like some of y'all are thinking like, oh, like why didn't you do Coming into America? And we're like, we're waiting for Coming to America for when the sequel comes out so we can review it. The what's it called the week before that one. Uh, oh no, you had to bring that up, didn't you? White Man Can't Jump, starring the future Carnage, Woody Harrelson.
Stacy, I like you, but I like you a little less for that.
Yeah. Either way, thank you, Stacy, for coming into chat and talking with us, and thank you to everybody who's listening or who's watched this. We thank you so much for your support. As always, we want to thank our wonderful Patreon supporters. Patreon supporters, thank you so much. You guys are the ones who make the show happen and all the shows on the network. As always, we want to thank our wonderful producers, writers, and our showrunner, our producers, our associate producers, Cassie and Sarah. Thank you guys so much for your help and being associate producers of the show. And our wonderful executive producer, Shane.
You follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at XSRK underscore.
And as always, we want to thank our writers, Brown Rice 96 on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Bryce is falling under some financial hardships, guys. So if you guys can go and share his GoFundMe link, please go and do so. Share is sometimes a share works better than a donation, honestly, because you don't know who will see it. We also have our wonderful Tony.
Hey, Tony.
At Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter. And our wonderful showrunner, Tamor 23, Taymor 23. Thank you, Tamor. We hope we make you proud with all the recordings we do. And can't wait to talk to you soon on another meeting, even though we got to schedule that soon. But Brad just got done with the snowstorm, so,
Sorry.
Yeah. But with that being said, it's been a lot of fun. And I'll catch you guys on. We'll catch you guys on Thursday for our review of The Curse of Professor Sardonicus, along with an interview with writer director Ariel Thies, and hopefully the rest of the crew. So, with that being said, Brad, send them out.
All right, Rome. Thank you for being host as always. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to Stacy for checking in on us in chat. And I guess to end this episode, I will just say, get off the fucking cooler. Young Yoda out.